perfect, holy child of God. This is the time of remembering. Everything has been given to this moment. To be able to remember. The resistance to remembering gets weaker and weaker as the heart grows stronger and stronger, and as the mind is cleansed of its nightmares, and the love that is waiting within begins to emerge. It emerges from a cocoon, a self-imposed cocoon. Within that cocoon, the ego believes that it reigns supreme. And everything that the ego thinks, every belief, is heralded as making sense just within the cocoon. But as the doubt arises, the doubt that this limited, dark existence could have any reality to it, that doubt begins its journey to meet the light. The doubt is finally placed where it needs to be. The doubt used to be of God. But for those beloveds who have realized that this is the time of remembering, it flips. The doubt is no longer that God is real or that God is love, but the cocoon is doubted. The darkness is doubted. The small-mindedness is doubted. The hatred is doubted. The self-attack is doubted. The lies are all doubted. And in truth, those lies cannot stand the light. So as the light is accepted, the darkness begins to be penetrated. The cocoon is rent. It begins to find weakness. It begins to fall apart, and truth is accepted. The lies can no longer be reasoned. This is the rejoicing. But thank God it's not real. To rejoice in the name of love can be every moment of every day. Rejoicing for the truth of love. And in that, prayer begins to have its power return to it. The rejoicing of God, the rejoicing of love. Thank God I was mistaken. And in that, prayer is embraced. The heavens declare God's grandeur and the radiance from which they arise. God's universe is perfect, awing the mind. God's truth is subtle, baffling the intellect. God's law is total, quickening the breath. God's compassion is fathomless, refreshing the soul. God's justice is absolute, lighting up the eyes. God's love is radiant, rejoicing the heart, more precious than the finest gold, sweeter than honey from the comb. Help me be aware of my selfishness, but without undue shame or self-judgment. Let me know that you are always present in every atom of my life. Let me keep surrendering my little self until I am utterly transparent. Let my words be rooted in honesty and my thoughts be lost in your light. Unnameable God, my essence, my origin, my lifeblood, my home. It isn't too much. The ego would like it to be too much. Too much love, too much adoration, too much devotion, too much truth. It isn't too much. In returning to the light, every beloved realizes that it can never be too much to praise the truth of God. Every moment of praise is the lifeblood in your system. When you praise, when you stop and you connect with the glory that is the universe and is you and is everything and is every atom of your system, let the glory radiate. It's how you connect to the truth of God. It's not that you need that to connect. There's no rule of connection. It's just that when you feel the connection and the glory, your heart bursts open because it's your source. And you are that. When you are able to feel the glory within you, to the paying homage to God and reveling in the perfection of the universe, you're reveling in the perfection of yourself. You are all that God is. You are that perfection. You are the light of the world. You are the innocence that God created. So the glory just fills every cell and never leaves, and yet is given to God. All of love is all yours. All of it. You are that. It is you. Bask in the glory of what you are. And that basking in the glory of what you are becomes kindness and gentleness and honesty and charity. It becomes everything that is the truth. It's nothing you have to develop. It just yours. The Lord is joy and compassion, patience and unchanging love. Higher than the heavens above us, vaster than space is his love. Longer than 10 billion years will he wait for us to return. As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on all. He remembers that we are dust. Our lives are as brief as the grass is. We blossom like a flower in a field. When a strong wind comes, it is rooted up and disappears from its place. But God's love is eternal, and his love is everlasting. His law extends through the galaxies and into the atom's core. Bless the Lord, angels of light, echoing from the sound of light. Bless the Lord, all masters who have self-realized, who have grown transparent in his love. Bless the Lord, all creatures through infinite dimensions of the world. Bless the Lord, O my soul. All in equal standing of love. The hesitation of the devotion to God is an old trick of the ego, to be cautious, to be on top of things, to be sure. But to be sure will come through faith. To be sure will come through your willingness to accept miracles, to accept that God's healing is yours, to accept that there is a power of transformation that is yours, and that you are willing to trust in that love, that transformative love, that miracle of love. There is no one who walks in this world in the belief of separation that could heal themselves. It's not possible. We made a system, and we, as the makers of the system, can surrender it, but tearing it apart ourselves is not something that is asked of us, because it would be so difficult to tear yourself to pieces and unravel. But the holiness of love says, let me help. Let me untangle the web that has been made by the mind of separation. Let me bring you the truth of love and the miracle of healing, and you will recognize the benevolence of love itself. Love is your healing miracle, constantly given to you. Bless the Lord, angels. Bless the Lord, masters. To be a master and to bless the Lord is to recognize that a state of awakeness is still the child, and God is still the carrier of all love, the source of all love. Bless the Lord. The beauty of remembering the praise of God in the everyday is that it doesn't allow the ego mind to run with the belief that there's something to prove, there's something to get, there's something to protect. When you're praising God in the everyday, it's also to remember that you are never without the truth of God that walks with you. You're never without. God is always in every breath, in every cell. And as you remember that God is always with you, it's much more difficult to fight for your worth. It's much more difficult to want recognition for something because it's such a minuscule idea. It's such a paltry idea of your worth. You're walking with God. You're walking with the divinity of the universe. What could another ego give you of your worth when you're walking with God? So all of the urges to prove your worth start to fade because you're walking with God. God is your breath. God is your heart. And God is your mind. The truth of your mind is the mind of God. So how can perfection that walks with God fight for approval within the world? That becomes the place of the great laugh, when it's no longer seen as anything that is worth fighting for, because it doesn't exist. You are the perfection of God. His law extends through the galaxies and into the atom's core. What are the laws of God? It's just love. Love and harmony and peace. Why is it when someone stands and looks at the stars in the night, you feel the stillness, you feel the connection and the immenseness, that it's a quiet connection. And then you look back on the earth and you can feel the chaos that has been acceptable. The stars are not in chaos, and the truth of love is not in chaos. And to bring that stillness and that love and that peace from the stars to the earth is what we're called to do. The stillness of the stars is the stillness of your heart, the quiet breath of God's breath that is within you. You have the power to bring that stillness, that quiet, that peace, that gentleness that you connect with in the stars to all of humanity. When your heart is quiet, when your heart is joyful, when your heart is peaceful, and your mind is follows with, you're bringing the stars, the quietness of the stars to humanity. When you look at someone with kindness and having no judgment, you're bringing the stillness of the stars into their heart. When you bring kindness, when you bring non-judgment, gentleness, you're bringing the power of God to that beloved. You are bringing the miracle of love that God has asked you to bring and to receive, because you receive it as well. The power of transformation is within you. It isn't just your transformation, it is the transformation for humanity. With every beloved that you offer peace and kindness to and joy, you are bringing the stars. And that beloved holds then the remembering. Clearly, the seed has been given. This is how humanity will heal. Heart to heart, all in love. I ask for comfort. I ask for comfort from the kings, from the heavens, the forest and the sea. I ask for comfort from the queens to come and illuminate me. I ask for comfort from the princesses, from the heavens, the forest and the sea, and I ask for comfort from the princes to come and illuminate me. I ask for comfort from the angels, from the heavens, the forest and the sea. I ask for comfort from the saints to come and illuminate me. You're asking these beings of love, the beings that live through the waters, that live through the sea, that live through the earth, all the beings of love that are here to serve humanity's remembering, asking for comfort. And when you ask for them to illuminate your awareness, they happily answer. Eu peço conforto às reis do céu, da floresta, do mar. Peço conforto às rainhas para nos iluminar. Eu peço conforto às santes do céu, da floresta, do mar. Peço conforto às princesas para nos iluminar. Eu peço conforto aos anjos do céu, da floresta, do mar. Peço conforto aos santos para nos iluminar. I ask the saints to come and illuminate me. come and illuminate me. There's nothing here required for you to show that you deserve it. I ask the saints to come and illuminate me because I am one with them, because you are one with them. Because once you recognize that you want illumination, it will be given you. I ask that they illuminate me because I've realized that that was my natural state. Lit in the light of God, illuminated. It's your natural state. Oh, teach me to open my heart to those who come here to be healed. Teach me to open my heart to this love, to heal all this pain of this world. We have strayed from the love of our Father and wandered in pain since our birth. It was Jesus who came here to save us all, to release all this pain here on earth. Oh, my mother, the queen of the sea, it's your love that I feel inside me. Teach me to love from the depth of my heart, to heal all the pain that I see. My Father is here with his love. He knows how to care for us all. He loves everyone who has come to this call, all those who have answered this call. Teach me, illuminate me, free my mind, and destroy the cocoon that I made in the past. Light my life. When the violin can forgive the past, it starts singing. When the violin can stop worrying about the future, you will become such a drunk, laughing nuisance. The sun will then lean down and start combing you into its hair. When the violin can forgive all the wounds that were believed to be true, your soul will start singing. Imagine that the violin has to remember and forgive the past to start singing. Imagine that there wouldn't be the sound of a violin in the world because you couldn't forgive the past. The violin will stop worrying about the past and about the future, and then you will become a drunk, laughing nuisance. Because the violin is the same as everything, looking for God. When love is played on the violin, love is heard. When hatred is played on the violin, hatred can be heard. The violin is also here to remember love. And the violin will at one point forgive all that has been believed to be wounds caused by others, and recognize that no wounds came from others, that all the seeming wounds were self-inflicted, and all the culprits disappear, and only the angels remain. This love is saying, come with the violin and forgive the past. Forgive it because it has no value. It offers nothing except the teaching of separation. And yet, the constant call is to return home, forgiving the past, forgiving the wounds that you believe were caused by others, forgiving because it wasn't true. This is the day of God, as every day is a day of God. But in forgiveness, the burdens are lifted, and you're happy to give the day to God. The element of non-forgiveness, the resistance to forgiveness, doesn't allow the day to be given to God, truly. Because the forgiveness stands between, not given. The belief in wrongdoing stands between. So the day can't be given to God in its totality. The way to healing is to realize that you want to do nothing on your own without God leading. But when there is forgiveness that has not been brought to its fullness, it's more uncomfortable to actually ask to have a day with God because of the unforgiveness. When you're holding someone or some circumstance in your heart as the cause of your misery, it's uncomfortable to invite God, because you'd be inviting to the misery. And yet, you may not be calling on God to come to give this day to God, but God is still there, because God doesn't see the wrongdoing. God is not holding the beloveds that you're holding in unforgiveness. There's nothing and no one that is not the perfection of God's innocence. So in the forgiveness, you open the space that invites God in so much of a deeper way. I used to see it, the unforgiveness, as at first I was held as a hostage to pain and suffering. And then as healing made things more clear, I realized that I was holding everything as a hostage. I wasn't being held as a hostage, I was holding hostages that were supposedly not worth forgiving. Thank God I was mistaken. Thank God there is no enemy. There is no wrongdoer. There is only children of God, the light of God. This is the day of God. I will do nothing on my own today. I will hear only your guidance in everything I do and say, and I accept direction moment to moment. Love is that easy. I want to spend the day singing the praises of God. And what better praise is there but to say, I will follow your guidance today, because you are the wisdom of the universe, and teach me. Teach me to love. God sees the light that is within you that never dies. That light has been the light of the universe all along. And as the cocoon begins to unravel, that light is getting brighter and brighter. It's bright beyond any possibilities, but your recognition of that bright light is opening. And it opens with every healing of your heart and with every thought that you release that has no truth to it. Allow the love. It's the easy, easy way. Seek not within the world to find yourself. Love is not found in darkness and in death. Yet it is perfectly apparent to the eyes that see and the ears that hear love's voice. Love cannot judge. It looks on all as one, no differences, and its meaning lies completely in oneness. All violins will sing together as the sorrow is lifted and as the belief in being wounded is surrendered. Only love can lead the way. When there is a healing that is occurring, every beloved who is in any close proximity by thought or by miles are all affected. Everyone that receives a healing and is in that wanting of truth, in their healing, they're sending out a vibration that says, join me. Join me in love. Join me in this truth of love and light. And it doesn't matter anybody's name. It doesn't matter anybody's proximity. Just allow that you're in a wave of healing. And you can join in that healing, in that wanting. Just with your yes. Imagine that every day you wake up in the morning and you just say, wherever there's a healing, I'm in. Wherever someone is remembering the truth, I stand with them. Wherever there is someone who is saying yes to loving and offering love instead of judgment, I say yes, I join. That is the circle of humanity that remembers the life force of God. All connected, all remembering, and all serving one another without knowing anyone's name or anything else, but everyone is serving each other. Amen.